Hi everybody. The series of videos you're going to see are taken from my Facebook Live that I've been doing in the evenings of the build of this aircraft. Now, one reason I've done this is it's just so much easier to plug in my webcam to my computer, stream it onto my Facebook. People can ask me questions. So the videos you're going to see right now, you'll notice that sometimes I'm answering questions and it's not me hearing voices in my head. It's actually people on my computer asking me questions while I'm just building things. The reason I've done this is it just got too much work to try to record a video, edit that video. Sometimes I would have to edit sound into it because my camera's audio didn't work good with my external microphone audio, and it just became a pain in the butt. So what you're seeing right now is a series of videos of me building the airplane, but it's through my Facebook Live. Now, these first videos were really crappy quality and the audio was crappy, and as I kind of figured out what I was doing, it got much, much better. So understand the first series of videos you're seeing here are crap quality, but then they get much better toward the end. I have about 24 hours of videos I recorded over the last month and a half, and I'm going to try to get each one of them up as about 30-minute pieces or less here on YouTube. So thanks for watching, everybody. I love all my followers, I love all the emails, and I love all the support. Have a great day and rock on. I'm going to cover 3 emails I keep getting over and over and over, and one of them is somebody, well not somebody, a lot of people keep asking about carbon fiber and airplanes. There was a person that posted, I don't know, a half a year ago, this big post on Facebook talking about how carbon fiber adds weight to model airplanes and that it's all a hoax. And if you took just a regular foam wing, ran some carbon fiber on it, and then glassed it, yeah, that carbon fiber is probably not doing anything for you that glassing that wing wouldn't have done in the first place. However, if you're building a really light wing, and I mean a wing that barely stays together when you're holding it, but you have a spar that runs through it that's laminated with carbon fiber, and then you use a really light glass cloth to cover it, you can actually make a wing that weighs virtually the same, but is 10 times more, well, I won't use 10 times. Normally when I test it, it's 2 to 3 times more stronger, but if you're building like a extra 260 or an extra 300, you could literally make the wing 10 times stronger using carbon fiber. So I just want everybody to understand that there's a lot of people out there that will post on Facebook that have never done it, never experimented. So if this was a regular white foam and I was going to cut out a airfoil with it, and then I was going to use, Gorilla Glue, put on really, really thin, mist it with water, and put on wing skins, that wing's probably going to be plenty strong for what you want to do. But if you're going to core out the foam, if you're going to take out 90% of that foam to get it really, really light, because believe it or not, foam is heavy. Most people say, oh, foam's not that heavy. It depends on what you're building and how big it is. Building something like this big, foam is awesome because it cuts so much time out of it. Will this plane still be heavy? Yeah, it's going to be between 55 and 70 pounds. But I've built this whole fuselage basically in 5 hours of my work time, and that's including the CAD time, okay? So when you're designing an aircraft and you're thinking about how do I build it really, really light, a stick-built aircraft is still going to be lighter than any foam airplane you can ever build, okay? If you use balsa wood and carbon fiber in the right places, virtually no plywood except maybe on firewalls, you can stick-build a plane much lighter than you can build a foam plane. But if you want simplicity and speed and don't want to lose your mind with sanding and planking and all that BS, foam is awesome, okay? So that was one email I got an awful lot. Another email I've gotten a lot in the last probably 60 days is, why don't I build a plane I can ride in under Part 103 of the Ultralight? If I lived on a farm and had just 10 acres, I would probably already be flying in an electric airplane that would have a duration of 10 minutes of flight. There's a guy out there, and I can't remember his name right now, but he pretty much got 2 million views on his YouTube by building a styrofoam, plywood, and fiberglass plane that had 2 of the big Hobby King motors that were 150cc equivalents. And what he had is just mind-bogglingly cool. That Peter something, I can't remember his last name, but he is a rock star because he built a Part 103 Ultralight with dual motors. It weighed less than the 260 pounds, whichever the Ultralight rule is. There's actually a airplane out there that uses what's called the Better Half VW engine, which uses the front 2 cylinders of a Volkswagen Bug engine, and it's an ultralight, and I can't remember the name of it. It's a high wing. Building something like that would be so easy, but I don't have an airport to fly it at, and I don't have much time in my life, and I like the RC, so that's the biggest reason I don't build an ultralight and fly around in it. Yeah, someone just posted his name. Yeah, that's the guy. He's a rock star, by the way. I have such admiration for him. He's right up there with Elon Musk as far as I'm concerned, because the kid did everything right. And a lot of naysayers said he couldn't do it, and he did it. But I'm not going to lie. There is a part of me, and I talk to my wife Melinda all the time. Do I want to build an ultralight? And out of foam and plywood and carbon fiber. Myself, I would have 4 motors on it. I have 2 pushing and 2 tractors, and I would have a blast with it. It's just I don't have an airport, an ultralight airport close to my house, and I don't even really have the time to do my hobby with how much I spend with my family and work. So that's another email I wanted to push out of the way. The third email that I get people asking me all the time is, what do I think about the drones and all of this? And, you know, I'm not sure why they ask me. It might be because I'm such good friends with the guys who own Quad Monsters, which is really neat little racing quads. And one day I put links up to them once in a while in my videos. But I love the drone guys. But I don't consider drone guys the guys that go to Walmart and buy a drone and go fly on the approach of O'Hare. Okay? That to me is not a drone guy. That's a person missing about 8 chromosomes, probably didn't evolve on this planet, and is just nuts. So I love drones. I think they're the coolest upcoming thing, especially if you get your, and I can't remember what FAR part it is, but where you become a commercial pilot to fly drones, you can make money doing real estate video. So I'm 100% behind the drone guys when they're the hobbyists, the people who follow the rules. The other ones are sewer to me, okay? So now we're going to talk about the fraEMMAstein a little bit. Had some people ask me about the wing ribbon, how I came up with it. And to be honest, it's a Clark Y that I just rounded the nose of it, so there's not the little bit of a curve up that the Clark Y has. But this is basically a Clark Y airfoil. Somebody says, why did you build a wing and then jump to the fuselage? When I design an airplane, I go after the things that are unknown to me. I built the wing, it turned out perfect. Why would I spend the time building the other wing right then? I wanted to jump to the fuselage. One of the biggest things about the fuselage was, how was I going to get this thing to be able to go in and out of my basement until I can take it up into the garage and do the final assembly. So those joiner tubes you saw me make are actually mounted in here now. And this whole fuselage doesn't probably weigh 8 pounds right now, but you can see the tubes in there, and you can see how this whole thing slides together. So this airplane, and I still haven't designed how the back door is going to work. I said that the other night when I did one of these videos. I am still clueless of, you know, how this door, because you know, if the whole door comes down like this, hang on a minute, you need to think about the shift of your center of gravity when you're dropping payloads. So the center of gravity of this airplane is going to be about here. So the wing is going to be about like this, and everybody's going to go, well, wait a minute, why do you have the wing back so far? Because I'm going to have 4 big motors on the trailing edge of it, and I need a lot of nose to get my CG right. I hardly ever add nose weight to planes when I design them because I put the wing in the right place for the CG. So if this is where the wing goes, and the wing's going to be mounted about right here, If I had a door that was the length of this that came back, as a cargo goes out, I'll actually have load this far behind the CG. So realistically, I want the door to most likely come up and this be the most far aft place that anything could sit on the airframe, not to throw my CG off. If you watch real C-130s when they're dropping the load, you see the plane pitch up as the weight goes onto the ramp. So this wing is going to be placed wherever it ends up being best for the CG. There'll be a hole right here for the horizontal stabilizer to slide into a joiner tube, like my other tubes. And I'm just making sure my video is working. If somebody pops up and say, hey, the video is not working, I'll just keep talking because you'll have my beautiful voice. So the horizontal stab is going to go back here something like this. I have not come up exactly on how the horizontal stab works because a lot of people want me to do a V-tail. I'm terrified to do the V-tail. I don't want to build this whole airplane, get all these systems working, and that V-tail make it so that on my first flight, I don't have it dialed in and I crash it. However, I was looking at the tail of an airplane that lands on carriers. It's a twin-engine AWACS type plane, but it had a horizontal stabilizer with a vertical stab at the end of the airfoil, but it also had another funky one that doesn't have a rudder on it right here in the middle. So I had actually 4 vertical stabs and then 2 aiming down below it. I like that look, but I got to figure out how much weight that adds because last thing I want to do is keep adding weight into the ass end of this thing. Another thing that I had talked about the other night is these are some fiberglass 1/2-inch rod I bought from my master car, and they're really, really tough. They're heavy though. I didn't know how heavy these would be, but keep in mind, these are only going to be the width of the fuselage. So these are going to be torsion bars. So they'll be fixed in the middle securely. I'm going to have this bracket with a trailing arm on it so that when the wheel is needing to be shock absorbed, I'll be twisting this fiberglass rod. I also have some rubber bands that's going to help offset this. Hopefully by this weekend, I've got the whole landing gear designed for this as fast as it's going. But that's the fiberglass rod. One other last thing about this fuselage that I'm not sure people completely understand, and I'm just now starting to get my head around it. If the main landing gear is back here, the wings here, I've got to be able to still have a track system inside the fuselage that I can line up. I have not designed exactly how that tray is going to go in because I don't want to add a lot of weight, but you have to have a track system in there so that when you're flying around and you maybe hit turbulence or you're just a bad pilot, which I'm a bad pilot sometimes, if you pull a negative G, you got crap all bouncing around inside the airplane. Everything's got to be on a track system so that when I drop a drogue chute and it pulls everything out, it can't get fouled up. The last thing you want to be doing is dragging 2 74-inch diameter parachutes behind this plane because it won't fly, it'll crash. And another thing we're going to try to do at CEF, I'm planning on having this at CEF next spring. And I already have 2 drone pilots I'm pretty good friends with. And what I want to do is take off with the drones in the tail, fly around, have them fly out of the tail, follow me around, and then fly back in. And if we can do that, and with the GoPro cameras going, I think that's going to be really, really cool. Not sure if we can do it, okay, sure. No, I'll keep the videos going. So I think that's going to be absolutely very, very cool at CEF, because if you've seen some of my other videos, I've had the drone guys basically fly formation with me about 20 inches off my wing and stay with me most of the time. And I do believe if I can fly this straight and level, and they can fly right up behind it with the tailgate open on this, that they'll be able to put their drone back into the tail end of this plane. So I think tonight I've covered everything I did. I mean, one thing I want to talk about a little bit with the design part of it is the only way I've learned is by trying to do it, okay? And there's so many people that will send me emails. I mean, in 1 week, I think the most emails I've ever gotten is like almost 100. And on a slow week, I get 4 or 5, and that's fine. I will answer every email, but I'm not looking. I'm not an email whore. I'm not looking for emails, okay? But I will answer every email that gets sent to me. But a lot of people ask me about, you know, how do you learn this? Well, I did it. And if it worked, it was exciting. If it didn't work, I learned. just about everything I look at, when I look at something like this, I think about the wing area. I think about where the CG is going to be. I think about the how many watts per pound I'm going to have. And on a plane like this, I'm shooting at 100 watts. I think it's 100 watts a pound. Yeah. And I got a lot going on up there. So because there was a big controversy with my MSL1 that, you know, it wouldn't fly at 70 watts a pound, and it flew beautifully. This, I'm shooting for maybe 100, max power for takeoff 125 watts maybe, but which this is going to have way more power than it needs. I'm going to have my 4 hacker with pusher props on this, each probably doing about 3,000 watts. So what is that? 3 times? I'm at 12,000 watts of power on this plane. I might be able to do some acrobatics, but yeah, that's crazy. I never thought about that. Yeah, the plane will probably have about 10,000 watts, 12,000 watts. But going back to the design part real quick, it's really important that if you want to build something, build a small model of it first, even if it's rubber powered, and fly it and understand what CG is. Okay, there are programs like X-Plane out there that I used to build all my airframes in to figure out where my CG was, because X-Plane, you can build basically a radio controlled airplane, an X-Plane, and fly it. So the thing is that even if it's just a balsa wood glider and you are building a weird airplane, especially airplanes that have canards, most people don't realize a plane with a canard, sometimes the center of gravity is almost at the leading edge of the trailing big wing. I mean, yeah, the leading edge of the main wing on a canard. It's not where a traditional CG is. So build a model, throw it off your balcony or your roof or, you know, someplace safe, see if it flies, mark where the CG is, and that will apply and work to your model. This I know enough about when I put it up on the jack stands to understand where the CG will be if I've got to move the wing, and which I've moved wings a lot on these FBL airplanes. It's just drilling 2 more holes and putting a new tube in and glassing over the old tube and moving on. So I've been going on 17 minutes. I just wanted to give an update on the fraEMMAstein. If anybody came in late, I achieved my big goal this week of being able to slide the fuselage back onto the front, and I only did this to get it out of the basement. Okay, once this goes upstairs and I slide this together, chances are I may just epoxy it together, fill in the seam, sand it over, and it'll be one big fuselage that will go in and out of my trailer. So I think I got through this one without the video going all crazy on me. And if I did, that's awesome. And do you draw the schematics of your planes or download them? I draw everything that I build. Now, a lot of times I might go out and find a 3-view drawing of an airplane, and there is PDF to CAD programs where you can actually, you need a high resolution PDF, but there's a PDF to CAD program out there that's free. There's another one you pay something like $29 or $30 for, which is even better. But if you've got a really nice, it sounds like it went pixelated. Hopefully it gets better here in a minute. I'm looking at my Wi-Fi. See, this has got to be Facebook, because my Wi-Fi is at 100% right now, so I don't know what's causing it. The video went bonkers. Back to normal. That's really weird. I don't know if that's my system, but I'm looking at my Wi-Fi strength right here, and it's still 100%. So, but you can take just about any 3-view drawing there is out there and pull off the outline, and then if you just understand the shape of the fuselage, you can draw all the sections of the fuselage in CAD. So I'm trying to remember, there was an Su-26 Sukhoi aerobatic plane somebody gave me the drawings for once that I built a kit from that was in CAD. But I draw in CAD all of my airplanes then draw it in 3D to make sure everything fits, but then print it from CAD on my plotter to cut out the parts. So there's a weird process there. I start with CAD, export from CAD to my 3D and extrude all my parts to make sure that they're like the real parts so I can fit them. And if they fit, then I print from that. If I go to adjust, I can go back from the 3D and adjust the 2D drawings. But that's really most of the way I do my own drawings. There's not a lot of good CAD drawings out there that shows you the bulkheads, the notches in the bulkheads for the size of stringer that goes in it, all the ribs. There's not a lot of the type of stuff I build out there. You know, there may be P51s, there may be all kinds of stuff out there. But I know for me, in the planes I've built, like the C-130, I did 100% of those CAD drawings myself. The B-36, I did 100%. The Mosquito, I did 100%. The T-28, I did 100%. The 3/4 scale Pitts S1 hybrid plane I did was 100% my own drawings. I've got a couple of planes I don't talk about that I've drawn, but they're not finished, and I don't want to get too far into that because people will want them, and I don't like to give drawings unless they're 100% done. So there's just Lancaster. There's just some drawings out there that I don't have done, that maybe years before I ever release them because they are not done. I hate to give up a drawing that has just the fuselage and no wings, or it has the wings, fuselage, and there's no horizontal stabs. So, but before I die, I have 3 planes I'm drawing right now that will be done, but not anytime soon. So thanks for watching my videos. I'm going to try to set up a time each week that I do this. I've gotten about 25 emails. Everybody says, oh, do Friday night at 8. And I'm like, who wants to watch this at Friday night at 8? You're usually with your families or your hot girlfriend, or you're out there doing something fun. Why would you want to watch this Friday at 8 o'clock? Okay, maybe if you're old, retired, that's awesome. But come on, guys. I thought about Tuesday nights at 8, and somebody mentioned that. So I don't know when I'm going to do these yet. Maybe Sunday evenings, but I'll try to give 48 hours notice before I do these. So if anybody wants to watch them, but keep in mind, these are always replaying. These are always being shown on my Facebook. So if you miss it live, you can watch it. And I think tonight worked pretty cool, everybody. So if you got any questions, feel free, send me an IM through Facebook or ask me my email. One pet peeve I have: do not send me an IM through Facebook that is got 6,000 characters. Send me an IM saying, hey, Damon, what's an email I can contact you at? Because it's a lot easier for me to get the email and spend some time responding to it and then send it to you. I just can't do that in Facebook easily, okay? So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'm going to go offline now, and if you got any questions, feel free to ask them. And I'll try to do another one of these, and then I'm on vacation this week, so I'll probably try to do one Saturday afternoon maybe, which is a horrible time for everybody. I don't know when I'll do it, but hopefully when I come back, I'll be able to show you a lot of landing gear progress, because I'm planning on tomorrow 3D printing all the landing gear. I got the last 3 engines I needed to 3D print for people done. So the next 4 days is dag time on my 3D printers. Take it easy, everybody, and rock on. Bye.